Hello? Can everyone hear me? I have to figure out my microphone situation. I can't hear that. Okay, give me 1 second. It's been a while. It's been 1 week since you looked at me. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. Hello? Testing. You know what it is? I think it's little Taro. Her little belly is laying on the cord of my headphones. Also, my voice has not changed completely. I swear. This is a temporary post Christmas, post New Year, new me, new voice 2025. I'm recovering from some sort of ailment. Okay, let's try it now. Taro, what do you think? Why can't I hear anything? Why? Oh, hello. Why can't I hear? Why can't I be where the people are? Okay. Am I stupid? All right, let's see. Let's do a little test. What were we going to listen to anyways? Some Rachie Hollis got married content? Maybe that's the perfect thing to test. Also, hi everybody. Hello. It's been too long and it's no one's fault but my own. But I'm back in the Rach Talk studio ready to rach it up. Okay. You can't hear that. I can't hear that. Can we hear it now?
The New Balance 1080 is the ultimate daily trainer combined.
No. Kayla, you should have done testing before. Yeah, well, that would mean that I had to, be prepared. Ah! It really is little Taro. All right. Okay, whatever the hell she's talking about. I can hear myself. Okay, let's go back. Okay, pretend that was just a test. That was only a test, and you all passed. Yay! Okay, welcome for real. So, what's been going on? What's new? I haven't been back since like the election. I haven't been back since man walked on the moon. It's been quite a while, but not much has changed. Little Taro and me are still just hanging out in the studio, drinking LaCroix, chugging vodkas, being wine moms, and living our dang life. Isn't that right? What do you have to say? Oh, and she kicked her little toe on Reach. Good job. Uh-oh. We're going to have to make sure that this microphone does not get disturbed, little Taro. Okay. Let me pull up your comments because I ain't seeing nothing. I'm not seeing them. What the hell? What the hell? And remember shoes? Throwback. Welcome. I see everybody. Andrea, Lency, Alexi, Kitzitu. And I realized in former streams, I've pronounced names wrong. Part-time jujitsu is never been part-time jujitsu. I think I just have some form of See, I have a form of dyslexia where I can't speak correctly, and I just mix things up in my brain. Oh my god. Okay, we'll be fine. We'll recover. Also, very cool news, unexpected. Oh, you can't hear that.
I have dyslexia so bad.
There you go. My friend texted me randomly and was like, hey, are you on Netflix? I was like, I don't think so. And then she sent me a screenshot and I was on Netflix. on the documentary about Brian Johnson, the man who wants to live forever. So that was pretty cool. It was just a small snippet at about minute 56-ish. I believe there's like 33 minutes left, so whatever, do the math on that if you're watching it on Netflix. And it was about when Brian Johnson's girlfriend sued him for, not paying the bills that he had promised previously. So if you got downtime and you want to watch a documentary that includes yours truly for a solid 4 seconds, that's the place. It's called The Man Who Wants to Live Forever. But spoiler alert, I will say, was not my favorite documentary. It was quite boring. Other than, well, like I said, me being in it. I found it to be one-sided, very much like the JonBenet Ramsey documentary on Netflix that appeared. A little bit of propaganda, maybe, I would say. Let me know if you understand what I'm saying here. Yeah, okay. Anyways, so yeah, watch it, decide for yourself. But I thought it was like very like pro Brian, which, millionaire spending money on himself. Not quite the touching story we all need and deserve. And let me say before we get too far, thank you to, and I'm sorry for all the technical stuff. We're getting back in the flow, I swear. LCV Maddox, thank you so much. LCV Maddox picked a pair character turning around, waving his hand, saying, "Hey, you," while lowering his glasses. Well, thank you so much, LCV Maddox. That sounds so cute and so pair, and also so demure. I don't know what the words are anymore. And also, they told me to tell you thank you as well. Also, I'm no longer blonde. I took the blonde out. I'm back to my roots, baby. Back to the roots. Okay, Taro. There's been an attack. An attack. Get it? Okay. Just don't mess up the microphone. Thank you very much, LCV. Okay, so let's open up everything. God, it's so funny to like, I used to stream so much that it was like second nature almost, and now it is like I'm flying a NASA drone in the sky, and it's complicated. Okay, toodaloo. Oh no, she ain't leaving. Hello? Okay. So let me open up the stream so I can see all the pair characters with their glasses. How do I sound? By the way? Okay, here we go. Excellent. Okay. So I thought today we'll keep it real simple because my transition back into streaming world and YouTube land, I want to make sure it's sustainable. Okay. I think I got a little burnt out on the 4-hour streams and, all of that stuff. I could do it before I had a job, like a full-time job. And then when I got a full-time job, I was like, that's like half a shift essentially on top of a regular shift. So kudos to the people who do it consistently. I know there's a lot on YouTube that can wrangle both, but my little petite, delicate, feminine physique just cannot handle two things at once. So I'm going to try to just keep it within reason. And then I can come back consistently. And I think I'm going to start making, I know today's not Thursday, but Thursday seems to be the best day of the week for me because Fridays are very relaxed at work typically. So I think that would be the best day to stream at night. And I think I'm going to stick to that. But I've said that every single time in the last, times I've streamed, and then I've broken my promises. So I don't want to do that again, but that's what I'm thinking. And thank you to T-Sol Girl. Thank you so much. T-Sol Girl says 2 weeks sober. This live stream is giving me life after sobriety. Hell yeah. Congratulations. And for that I say, and also, Cool. Thank you, Ed Millett Jr., the third and the fourth. And finally, I also say, yes, T-Cell girl, it is okay to cry. You have my permission and you have Heidi Powell's seal of approval. Thank you so much. And let's see, what else? What else? That's it. Sweet. We have made it. We've done it. And are you from Canada? Oh, you can't even hear. You guys can't even hear what the heck is going on.
It's okay to cry.
That's what I said. And then I also said,
We have a lot of really great friends from Canada.
and then I also said, let me just replay all the things I just said.
You are smart, but you aren't this smart.
And this,
Anybody who's gone through any abuse or dysfunction in their childhood, we have different eyes.
and then this.
I'm spending too much time working, too much time giving.
There you go. Now you're all caught up. Okay. Whew. All right. We're in the metaverse, everybody. All right. So first things first. Thank you so much. Thank you. Taro's taking a break. Updates. I have received the Holy Bible called What If You Are the Answer? I got this in the mail today, and I haven't finished it. I've barely started it. I've been skimming it since I've received it. I've just been a bookworm, just absorbing the wisdom on the pages. So I got to about page 80, and there is one part that I think is relevant to our conversation tonight, which is about Rachel Hollis got married. What the heck? As this thumbnail shows, I'm surprised. I'm a little surprised because I thought they were gonna be a quick thing, her and Cez. And I'm confused again as to how to spell Kez's name, and I'll tell you why. But hey, Rachel Hollis, when she commits to something, she commits full. She goes all in. She goes hard in the paint. She throws her shot and she swoops it in every time. She never misses. And when it comes to relationships, she's 2 for 2. She met one guy, kissed him, married him. Met a second guy, kissed him, married him. I mean, relationship expert, anybody? If anyone should be teaching classes, it's our girl, Rachel Hollis. Okay, let me just say that. And thank you. Eat More Paint. I could support that. Eat More Paint says, you rule and you are cool and you can take a break any damn time you want. # choose sadness. Hell yeah. Thank you. Okay, now I'm going to switch to the other screen and I'm going to play you some sound bites. Okay, Eat More Paint. Can we ever get enough paint? That's what I'm always saying. Can never get enough paint. Let's hear from Craigie.
This is gold, straight up.
Amen. That's what you say when you eat paint.
Deep belly laughs.
That's what the paint industry is saying when you keep purchasing more to eat.
This is so good.
When you just get an eggshell flavored paint, so good. And finally, last thing, Brian Johnson, since we were just talking about that, what do you have to say about this?
If I were to die, it would probably be choking on broccoli.
Cool. Thank you, Eat More Paint. All right, let me cough real quick. Hold on. Okay. Anyways, so so she's got all the marriage advice, she's got all the relationship advice, she's got all the questions you should be asking yourself, and this book is going to prove that, she doesn't have all the answers. You have all the answers, but you need to read her book in order to figure them out. And I'm going to do a review. I don't know if we're going to do a stream review or a scripted review. Not sure yet. Got to figure out what the vibes are. But the one thing, there's 2 things, but the one thing that is interesting, okay, I don't know if you can see this, but this book is for Cez, C-E-Z, which I know they just got married and all that, but you dedicate the book to your new husband. What about your kids? You don't want to just throw their names on there too? It's only for him? Miss Independent? Okay, I'm judging harshly as I typically do. But she dedicated this book to Cez. and only Cez, which I found to be an interesting choice. Asari Shepherd, thank you so much. Asari Shepherd says, her kid's crying off the edge of that picture. Which picture? Her kid's crying off the edge of that picture. Which one? Which picture? Tell me. Tell me, why am I supposed to live without you? I need clarification, Ashari Shepherd. Thank you. Also, shout out to Torrance. Torrance in the house. I saw your comment. Hello, Torrance. Torrance and I are coworkers, so don't harass him to find out where I work, because that won't be cool, everybody. Then I'll be outed and doxxed, and I will not like that. So just ignore what I just said. But shout out to you, Torrance. And Starry Nights. Thank you so much, Starry Nights. Starry Nights said a purple cat. Well, he didn't say a purple cat. He chose a purple cat, I'm assuming. And that is super cool. That's Tarot's alter ego color. Anyways, so I'm going to read a little part of the book, but I think we should wait until we're done with the podcast, and we'll end on the chapter in the book that talks about Cez, because I think it'll be interesting to hear, because I haven't listened to the podcast yet. So it'll be interesting to hear what they have to say about their love and relationship. And then this giant ass red flag in this book about Cez. Now, if you're familiar with Rachel Hollis and Dave Hollis, RIP, their relationship, a lot of things in hindsight, when you went back to hear about them, were like red flag, red flag, red flag after they divorced. But at the time, it was all like lessons learned, the 3% thing. So if you don't know, Rachel has a bracelet that says 3%. Why does she have that bracelet? What does it mean? Well, one time she told her then husband, Dave, I have a job interview and it's a big job. I think I'm going to get it. And he said, oh my God, you have like no chance of getting that job. And she says, oh, why don't you believe in me more? He's like, okay, fine. You have like a 3% chance of getting that job. And so I guess she ended up getting that job. And so to show him and inspire herself, she got a bracelet that shows 3%. So to spite her husband at the time, that was her motivation. That story in hindsight was like, of course they were headed for divorce, but at the time it was supposed to be inspirational. There's a story like that in this book about Cez that I'm going to read. I think you will feel similarly. And it's a story that we've heard parts of previously, or I've heard at least, when she's at the Paul McCartney concert with Cez and she has a panic attack, which a lot of people, including myself, speculated that probably wasn't so much panic as it was like some sort of LSD or like possibly mushrooms, just because Paul McCartney concert, I guess. And her symptoms seemed very odd. So it's more details about that story that make Cez look like an asshole. And that is a specialty of Rachel, to make her men, her boo things in her life look like jerks. Now, whether they are or not, who's to say? In Rachel's world, they are, but then there's a lesson to learn that actually they're great guys. I don't know. I think she's starting to sow some seeds just in case things go awry, maybe, or maybe I'm thinking too much into it. Who knows? Anyways, thank you to LCV Maddox. LCV Maddox says, Heidi Powell could use lessons from her alleged landlady, Rachel Hollis, on how to get one of her best friends to marry her. Just saying. Yeah, Heidi Powell. Also, Rachel Hollis has like unblocked me, by the way. So I'm back in, baby. I'm in the club. I can see her Instagram. Shout out Helen. Shout out whoever at Instagram unblocked me from there. I can see it all again. However, Heidi Powell can't see anything, and I'm fine with that. I'm not someone who fails, and unless it's the marks, what do you call it? The measuring stick of, am I allowed to see Heidi Powell's Instagram? In that I fail. Yes. Oh my God. You're not hearing me again. So stupid.
I am not someone who fails.
Okay. Now the joke makes sense. Damn it.
They're going to be dropping some really powerful, amazing, life-changing shiz.
Heidi Powell. She's going on the deep end. she's going off the edge, I think. She's got boyfriends. She breaks up with her boyfriend 10 times a day, I heard. I don't know. She's got stuff going on. We wish her well. We wish her well, right?
We're best friends.
We wish her all the best on this show.
And I was miserable staring out at my pool.
And also,
I'd fill that load.
good for you, Heidi. Okay, let's begin. Let's just do a little catch up and mustard on the Rachel Hollis lifestyle. So Rachel Hollis, again, has allowed me back into her life, and she has updated her bio on Instagram. It now says writing things, so true, reading things, prove it, making stuff, what is she making? Who knows? Over caffeinating, Dr. Ammon would say, your brain's gonna suffer. And still choosing joy. I thought we were done with choosing joy, yet we are still choosing joy, apparently. Except if you're on this channel and you're choosing sadness. Okay, thank you. You can pre-order her new book if that's what you're into, which I'm into that. Obviously, pre-ordered it. I got all the little goodies. I'm cutting things out of my diet, according to her, lesson plans that she sent me. And she's back. She's active. This is her rebrand, her moment to come back into society, into the self-help, or she calls in this book, self-work space. She got like an editorial posted in the Wall Street Journal, which is sort of interesting because if you remember the Wall Street Journal, it wrote a very enlightening article about the downfall and death of Dave Hollis. And they tried to reach out to Rachel to speak in the article. She declined, but now she's writing in praise of being totally gross articles. And she's back to talking about her hairy toes. Girls, ladies, girls, don't be embarrassed about having hairy toes. It's okay. I do too. I, the Rachel Hollis, have and will admit that I have hairy toes. So therefore, you should accept your flaws as well. So we're back to square one, essentially. We are back to where we started.
Am I the only hippie?
Yeah. So that was, she must have a PR team or something. She must have some sort of media company she's hired to get these types of things going because it is working. Then she was on, and earlier in the day, I was talking about this and I was like, I was talking to Steven and I was like, she was just on Regis and Kelly. I realized Regis Philbin died 5 years ago. I'm like, okay, I guess it's not Regis anymore. And I was like, yeah. And then I was like, yeah, no, Regis Kelly was on. And I'm like, no, it's not Regis Kelly. Her name is Kelly Ripa. And apparently Kelly Ripa now has a show with her husband who used to be, I guess, on a soap opera. I think that's how they met. So she has a show with him. So in case you haven't been online or watched TV in 25 years, it's no longer Kathy Lee and Regis. It's Kelly Ripa and her husband, who I don't even know, Mark. His name is Mark. So she was on their show. I have not seen this clip yet either. So this is going to be a fun little surprise for both of us, for all of us, and we can watch it.
You are privileged AF.
But first, I have to say thank you to Rebecca Romana. Thank you so much. And welcome back. Rebecca Romana says, hi, Kia. Nice to see you back. Nice to have some fun background while I write some Wolverine smut on a snowy day. God bless America. Amen, sister.
Get your hearts ready.
Get your hearts ready because there's Wolverine smut to be written.
I do not give a fuck.
Yeah. Hell yeah, that's smutty to me. What is this? Oh, can you translate it into Espanol, please?
I speak Spanish pretty well. Pinchos. Toyota Grand Highlander.
I don't know why I cut that one. It's just funny. Also.
Mic drop, homie.
And also.
I'm outside the Cheesecake Factory waiting for it to open.
Whatever happened to Lisa? I haven't heard from her in forever. Whatever happened to Lisa Bilyeu, am I right? She's been billowing away in the wind because she's so tiny. Okay. All right. So this is Rachel Hollis talking about whatever she's going to talk about with Kelly Ripa and not Regis Philbin. Here you go.
5 powerful questions to ask yourself in 2025 is best-selling author Rachel Hollis. Please welcome to the show.
Little awkward start there, just to get everyone on. Welcome to the little misstep there. It's okay. It's okay. We'll recover. She'll recover.
Excuse me, my nose is suddenly running.
I'm a mom.
Because,
I can
no, it's fine.
Why is it important to start off the year with some...
He's like, shut up. We got a segment to run.
I guess you call it self-reflection.
Well, we have to review the year that we just went through, or we'll repeat the same one again. So I think it's really smart to sit down with your journal or your therapist and ask yourself some really good questions. A great way to do this is to scroll through the pictures on your phone. You start in January, then maybe not
I have
your
some
phone.
great photos of
Not
Kelly.
your phone.
Yeah, right.
But for other people to see what worked, what didn't work, and what you want more of.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Okay, so what are the questions, like, should we be asking ourselves?
Okay, I thought we would
new
start
year?
off with a big one,
Yeah.
which is who would you be without your fear? Who would you be without your fear? So especially for those of you who have goals for this.
That's very reminiscent of Dave Hollis. Who would you be if you could be who you were meant to be when you were meant to be it before you could believe it and God knew it from the beginning? It's the same question with less words.
Year, what are the fears that are holding you back from being who you want to be? So can we play a would you rather?
Yeah,
Sure.
I love would you rather.
Would you rather go bungee jumping off a cliff or give a commencement speech to a packed Yankee Stadium?
Well, obviously, these two people are hosts of television shows, so I'm guessing the latter.
Bungee jumping off a cliff. Oh,
Okay.
1,000%.
Yeah,
And you?
I think the same thing.
Okay, so those are just
He doesn't know what she just asked. He's disassociated already.
fun, silly questions, but if you look at what scares you, you can look at the areas of your life that you need some more
Wait,
courage.
if she wrote the speech, I would do the speech.
Oh, that's
Because you're good at writing speeches.
I would write the speech for anyone. I would write the speech because I'm good at that. But I have a terrifying, I know it doesn't make any sense based on what I do for a living, but I'm afraid of public speaking.
Okay.
In a very powerful way.
Okay, well, another really powerful
Okay, relatable, Kelly Ripa.
question to ask is what little thing in your life is actually a pretty big deal, but you're not being honest with yourself. So what are the habits that you're doing or maybe not doing that are leading to something big? I love coffee. I drink 1,000 cups a day.
She has 1,000 kids, drinks 1,000 cups of coffee. There's some other substances you could probably be admitting to yourself there, Rachel. Okay. Tequila, wine. Just saying. There's more than coffee going on, as we know.
I should have more water. If I don't pay attention to those little things, they get to be something big. Anyone else want to drink more coffee this year?
You want to drink more coffee.
Anyone else want to drink more water? Great. So here's my best tip. When you go to take a drink of water, pretend you're in a frat, chug. Chug as much as you can at once. You get a lot more water in as you go
You're
through the
doing
day.
so well. He drinks more water than anyone I've ever seen.
That is also reminiscent of Chris Powell, Heidi Powell's, what was it, sip 10 or something? Suck down water 10 times, 10x your water consumption. I did that like 2 years ago where I had to chug the water. I almost choked.
Seen.
Yeah.
These are mind-blowing, life-altering tips and tricks here, guys.
Yeah, really important.
Okay, what's our third question?
Okay, I love this question so much, I ask it to myself once a month.
Okay.
What must you let go?
Is my tampon in or has it not been removed yet? That should be a question that she started soon after her incident back in 2017 or whenever that happened.
Of to be the person you want to be. So think of a year from now. You are the best version of yourself.
Yeah.
What are things that you currently
That you're
do?
carrying.
Yeah, what are you carrying that version of you does not have as part of their life?
I mean, what if that's too big and complicated?
It's not too big. This is what New Year's is about.
Travel light.
Right. We think that
Yeah.
we need to add more stuff to our life. It's not about adding, it's about subtracting things that should not be.
It's about subtracting categories of food. And that, if you don't know, is one of the tips that she has in her bonus bonus stuff. If you pre-ordered, you got like some PDFs. And one of the things that she says for the month of January, cut out a category of food. Okay. Yeah, someone on Reddit, because I posted about it, someone on Reddit was like, I decide to cut out vegetables. Like, yeah. Okay, good tips.
Be there.
Got it.
Yeah,
okay,
that's a really big one.
What's the next question? Because I'm not going to do that one.
Come on. Okay. Why do you believe what you believe?
Our moms.
Exactly. Why do you believe what you believe? What are those limiting beliefs that are holding you stuck in place? And if you want to figure out what that is, my favorite way is to fill in the blank with this word. I am not blank enough. I am not strong enough. I am not smart enough. I am not young enough to have these dreams in my life. So whatever that word is for you, I just saw someone in the audience go, girl, yes.
Right.
Whatever that.
They said, girl, wash your face. That's a title of a book if I ever heard one. Yeah, this is pretty awkward. It's not horrible. I mean, they're holding it together, but it's not the best, I will say. And it's nothing new. Nothing that has not been said 4,000 times in every single self-help seminar and every single self-help personal development circle in the last 25 years. It's quite boring. And honestly, in every Kelly Ripa segment probably that deals with this topic, it's the same shit, different day. And I hate that. I hate it, but it keeps working. So if you got money to get a PR agency to get you on the show and they don't care, it's like, you might as well just play it safe at this point and sell, 100,000 books and live in LA and chill. I get it. I just find it to be a tad boring. Asari Shepherd, thank you so much again. Asari Shepherd says, Rachel's advice, just survive. Pay her now. Yeah. Just do your best, guys, and always be the person that you are meant to be and could be if you just tried harder and woke up earlier. Okay, we're almost done, I think.
Word is...
I love this comment. So, not a fan. Thanks for your comment. I love it. Then scroll past.
For you, it's a sign that that's something that you're believing that is story someone else put on you.
Yes, there's a lot of stories that people, project onto young people at a very early
asking
age.
yourself those great, insightful questions helps you figure out who you are. Not who mama and daddy raised you to be, not who the world tells you you are, but who you are as a person.
Final question.
Final question. Did you win or did you learn? Not did you win or did you lose. There is no losing. There is no failure. There is only the knowledge that we acquire on the...
Unless you're Pam and you ate pizza, then you do fail and you are a loser. But other than that, you learned to not eat the pizza next time.
Way to becoming who we are. So did you win or did you learn? And if you learned, by God, you better learn that lesson well or it's coming back again.
Wow.
Wow. Oh, you better learn, girl. You better learn that lesson. The bar is so low. God, the bar is so low. Get me on the show, please. Get me on any show. Here's 5 questions you should ask yourself. 1, how dare you? That's an Office quote, I think.
These are great questions.
Thank you.
I'm still not going to do number 3.
For more like this, make sure to pick up a copy of Rachel's book, What If You Are the Answer? Available now. We'll be right back.
Oof. Okay. Well, there you go. It's happening. It's a happening, guys. And this is the outfit she wore. It's better than some I've seen. And there's a person named I Am Scott Wolf. Don't be mad at me. I don't know who that is. And then there's the book. Very similar to other pictures she's taken with other books that she's written. Okay, but that's not the important part. The important part is this. Oh my God. Oh my God. I got married. Ah! I'm happy, but there's something scary over there. Look at it and scream, but also maintain a positive outlook. I'm no fashionista. no fashionista, okay? However, this dress, pantsuit, whatever this may be, is something to behold. And I also want to say, Cez must be short. He must be a very short person because she's 5'2". I looked it up. It actually says 5'7" on Google, but then it like also linked me to her own blog and it said she was 5'2" in her own words. So I'll take that over Google's search. Thank you, AI, for not doing anything. And he's just a couple inches taller than her. And she has, where's the picture? There's another picture from his profile maybe where oh yeah, here it is. They're kissing. She's got like little, some height to her shoes, and they're like almost the same height. So she went from Dave Hollis, the tallest man who couldn't run, to the world's shortest skier. I'm just kidding. He's not the world's shortest, but he's smaller than I imagined. I don't know why. I guess I've never seen him stand, so I just assumed he was taller, I guess. Okay, where's your girl? How come I can't get to her page again? I got the go. She can't just tag her? Come on. Tag a sister. Okay. So let's look at so this seems to be a dress with the sleeves where you put it on your hands and you got like little, it's like a hand undershirt. And then like a maxi dress with a belt. He looks nice. I mean, he's simple. Men are so lucky. They just got to, put the same thing on. They all look good. And then she put the fur on. And I'm hoping it's vegan fur. Please don't make this be an animal that died for this. Please. But we're just going to give her the benefit of the doubt. Let's hope that it's like faux for my sanity. Looks better. And then the kids, which still don't love putting them on there, but at least it's like not them. It's a posed photo at least. It's not them like in their bedrooms like Heidi Powell does all the time. Sneak attack.
I am not emotionally stable.
And yeah, so let's go to his page real quick. And he's got different photos. So they're kissing. And they're reading their vows. And this happened in Switzerland. And they're laughing. And they're joyous. There's the kids. Kids look happy. Confetti. Cute. Amazing. They made it. And he's followed by Jay Shetty. So he's reached the big time. Okay. So we're going to hear all about it in their podcast. We're going to get all the updates, all the hot piping tea. But first, I want to do one more update or a couple more updates. So here's her website. It looks about the same. Nothing really crazy going on. Just some blog posts about her book. I'm just laughing because enjoy doing your chores. Laughing at coffee as the image. I don't know why it's so funny. And also, she's got a book tour. She's got tour again. At different Barnes & Nobles, Andersons. She's going to New York, LA, Austin, Naperville, and Toronto. Hey. So I guess she's going to sign some books. Apparently some of them are sold out, allegedly. So shocking, amazing. She's still got fans. It's crazy. She's making a comeback. But I did want to point out that Start Today, if you are familiar with Start Today is no more. It is the things of yesterday. It's a thing of yesterday. Start Today. They're sold out. Apparently they donated some money to Homeboy Industries, which is a nonprofit. You can no longer buy Start Today anything as of now. And then if you go to their Instagram, it hasn't been updated since June. Yeah, June 2024. So I guess that's no more. They were starting to like ramp it up again a little bit and show some stuff and put some stickers and have Rachel's podcast be on there, but it seems like it wasn't working or they just decided to nix it. But Start Today is, like I said, the website's still there, but there's nothing you can do, essentially. The only thing you can do is watch a video about how to write in the journal, which, you know, is really hard, guys. It's really hard to do. Should I put the pen on the paper or should I put the paper on the pen? So thank God this video's here. Okay, sorry. So that's an update. And then also, Rachel is no longer just a best-selling author. She's no longer a relationship expert and two-time kisser of men. She's no longer just a inspirational women's empowerment coach and expert. She is also a writer and director of, and a producer of a short film called, da-da-da-da, drum roll please. Do I have a drum roll? No. I just got a funny drum. Manless, which she has never been for more than 6 months. But her upcoming short is called Manless. And this is something I found interesting while looking at her IMDb. She started her podcast in 2017, which in hindsight is not that long ago. Girl Wash Your Face came out in 2018. Everything that she's known for essentially has come from 2018 to now. The range now everything is in the self-help bubble and the women's empowerment, you know, women's advice category. However, the range of this person's career, Rachel, is crazy to actually think about, because you look at this and you're like, she had this Quibbly show that did not, and she's drinking wine in her bathroom, that did not make it. She had the Dave and Rachel variety show, which is on here somewhere. She had, here it is. Here's this one. The Rachel and Dave Hollis variety show. That's only a couple years old and now completely irrelevant, obviously. She had 4 books. This is her 4th book in that time period, all on the same topic, literally the same exact advice. She's had cookbooks and like, I don't know, there's just a lot to accomplish. The wave of like stardom, success, Oprah, and then to where we are now. A lot's happened. Like, she needs a break, but yet, no, we're not getting the break. We're going to become directors now, which, hey, fine. I'm into it. I want to do this, honestly. And it looks like some money was put into it. It's called, here's some shots of her doing it, Manless, Rachel Hollis. And guess who the producer is of this Manless production? It is her boo thing, Cez. Ironically. She is not manless because she has a producer named Cez. And I'll show you that right here. Boop. There you go. There you go. And then editing, of course, by none other than Jack. Jack does not get a day off. Jack works.
Jack.
He's working. He's making movies. He's doing whatever Rachel Hollis. He's doing her bidding. As long as it's editing, Jack is doing it. And so they had like a full, short film crew. So some money was in there. The interesting thing I thought was that this person did the wardrobe. This is not her friend that styles her, which I thought was interesting. If you did a short film, maybe you'd bring in your friend who styles you to do the costuming, but in this case, she did not. And it stars Harrison Cohn as Shay, Beth Stelling as Lovey, Shiloh Shanner as Jules, and Chantal Yasmin Aberdira as Tosh. So not sure what the, let me see, release dates? Does it say? Where is it coming to? No. What is the English language plot outline of Manless? I would like to know as well. I guess we'll never know. So we'll see what this becomes. I'm not sure. It's a short and there's no images for it. No storyline, but it's a comedy, but of course. But that was done at some point. So that's it. That's really the updates. And like I said, the big update in the Rachel Hollis verse is that I'm back on Instagram and seeing her Instagram. So and she still got her comments turned off, but that's exciting. I get to be a part of the madness once again. And thank you to Angela Arnold. Thank you so much, Angela Arnold. Angela Arnold says, we're back on the mango frequency, baby. Yes, we are. And for that, I say,
The mango frequency.
I miss these sound bites so much. That's the frequency I love. Hawkbit37. You could have been famous, Hawkbit. You are basically one syllable away from Hawktua 37. Hawkbit37 picked 3 red hearts of differing sizes. Oh, big heart, little heart, medium heart. Thank you so much. And for that I say,
I love you.
Grandma has lung cancer.
That one's so good. That one's so good. And also,
the medical industry is involved with why eggs are bad.
True. Joe B. Thank you so much, Joe B. Joe B says, how to enjoy your chores article from Ms. Toilet Rant. Also, this is a bribe for you to stream next week. Ha ha ha. Okay, fine.
Gonna have to actually drink a little celery juice. Keep me going here.
I gotta chug like a frat boy. Hold on. Can you imagine if I did a keg stand right now? How sick and epic that would be.
Look out, medical medium's a cult.
Medical medium, I hate you. Still and forever. And also,
Scruffy cones.
That's a weird one.
I love selling stuff online.
I love selling stuff online. And also, this is a big one.
You have to think instead of sitting around eating Skittles and watching Oprah reruns.
Right, Joby? Come on. That's what you were thinking, right? That's what you were thinking. And Asari Shepherd, thank you again. Asari Shepherd says, Rachel's hair still looks like a wig that's too big. The only wig I know that Rachel Hollis has is this one.
My pubic hair.
This one also.
You have a wig in your panties.
That was the best soundbite that could have been picked for that one. And finally,
vacation labia.
No, this is for me currently in my voiceless state.
You are not required to get the flu this year.
And yet, here we are. No, I don't think I have the flu. I have something far worse. It's called hateritis. Where I can't stop hating on all these people constantly. It's a chronic illness, to be honest. Okay, and on that note, let's pitch it over to the podcast du jour. I'm married, an interview with Cez. Now, I say his spelling is interesting of Cez, C-E-Z, because in the podcast, someone must be writing this for her. She must have got an influx of cash because she hired some people to do the bidding again for her. Someone wrote Cez, K-E-Z, in the description, and it says, in this intimate episode of the Rachel Hollis podcast, Rachel and her partner Cez, spelled incorrectly, discuss the complexities and joys of their relationship, blending families and the adventure of parenting. They reflect on their upcoming marriage, individual connections with Rachel's children, and the challenges and growth of parenting a blended family. I thought they were married already. Their upcoming marriage? The title is misleading. It says I'm married. Why are we talking about upcoming nuptials? Ugh. Anyways. JLB Nerdy, thank you. JLB Nerdy, welcome back. JLB Nerdy says, stoked to see ya. You're looking gorgeous, Kia. Oh, thank you. It's because I'm back to my roots, like I said. I missed my brown hair, honestly. Like, I feel so good to be back. In my brown hair, where I belong. That's what my roots said when I went back to be brown. They're like, thank the Lord. Thank the universe. Thanks the spirit guides that you listened to us, that you're going brown haired again.
It's so quantum.
Thank you, JLB Nerdy. And finally, LCV Maddox, thank you so much. LCV Maddox says, I miss Scruggy-Con's a-hole content so much. Yeah, Scruggy-Cons was like a cringe-fluencer's specialty. That was a deep cut, if you will. Deep cut. So if you were around for Scruffy-Cons, you're a real one. What does that say about you?
Stop it. Get some help.
Just kidding. It actually means,
Oh my God! Wow!
that's how you should feel about yourself every day. Ask the questions that will help you in life. Am I a deep cut live stream watcher of YouTube? And if so, should I keep doing it for my mental health? And the answer is probably no, but I appreciate you being here. Thank you. And finally,
you can choose to stay blind.
As we all want to be. All right, Rach, let's go. I haven't listened to a Rachel Hollis. I haven't heard her voice other than right now in months, and it's been wonderful. So I'm ready to dive right in. And let me know about the sound.
The New Balance 1080 is the ultimate daily trainer, combining whether you're soul for
no emergencies can happen. Giving
hard, but it's also
we're hearing Cez for the first time. This is such a moment.
Wow.
He's been like the silent boo thing since the beginning, and now they're gonna launch a relationship podcast, and they're gonna make a cookbook together, and then launch a relationship podcast in T-5 months. I'm calling it now. If he's on the podcast, talking about his life and his life goals and what he wants to do and how he loves his little boo thing, it's only a matter of time. And I cannot wait. I cannot wait to hear it. All right. And finally, before I push that dang button, LCV Maddox says, sorry about the typos, LOL gummies kicking in. No need to be sorry. I cannot even speak.
I'm a tall, pretty, beautiful white girl.
And I shall be forgiven.
All that to say, there is a masterclass.
True. Okay, one more.
Oh, I'm so sorry you lost.
Damn, harsh.
Silly, dumb, incapable.
That's how you should feel, okay, LCV Maddox. Jeez. All right, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. All right, let's go.
To learn more about our high-quality emergency services, visit orlandohealth.com/ER.
I'm doing it.
It's all just life. It is hard, but it's also so joyful. It's so full of energy and excitement and sorrow and joy.
I already hate him. I'm sorry. Sorry.
And I think if I was looking back on our relationship and wasn't sort of like holding my head being like, holy shit, what would I be doing? I'd be looking back being like, well, that was easy.
What?
Hi, I'm Rachel, and in this show, we talk about everything. Life and work, health and healing, relationships with others and with ourselves. These are stories for the seekers. These are conversations for the curious. This is the Rachel Hollis Podcast.
Sorry.
I'm just hitting record and we're just going to see what happens.
They're so goofy.
Right. Let's do it.
Here, we're actually doing it. It's already happened. We're
this
having coffee. I know.
If you hear me slurping, it's coffee.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
It is worth saying that by the time this comes...
If you hear me slurping, it's coffee. Okay.
We will be married.
I know.
And nobody knows that, but we will be married. How are you feeling? We're getting
So
married
excited.
soon.
I'm really excited. It feels like it's been coming a long time.
It has.
And I feel really excited. I feel very nervous about the vows.
I haven't even started the vows.
Yeah, but you are a writer and a speaker for a living, like literally decades of practice. I, as you know, don't like speaking in any situation. And I'm also not a writer.
Well, it's worth saying that I got you to do this one and only podcast interview only because it was a special occasion that we're getting married and that there's no video or cameras.
100%.
Kez asked over and over. He's like, there's no video, right? Nope, just audio.
I just got back from the mall. I've been Christmas shopping.
Yeah.
Holiday shopping. Whatever you call it here.
You look adorable.
Thanks.
We call it Christmas shopping.
Okay, cool.
What do you call it?
Christmas shopping.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, that's a very English thing. Christmas shopping.
What do you call it in America? Shopping. Yes, honey, it's called shopping. Shut up. Okay. He has a different voice than I was anticipating also. I don't want to judge him too harshly, but I get a pretentiousness from his voice. And I'm obviously biased because he obviously fell in love with Rachel Hollis, which is saying something about who he is as a person. But yeah, there is a pretentiousness there, which also Dave had too. There was that level of, I am so superior, but I'm joking, so it's fine kind of vibe that he had. I get the same thing with Cez so far, but again, this is the first time I'm hearing him, so I'm being very judgmental off the gate. So maybe he'll rub off on me. Maybe he'll have his coffee, he'll be sleeping, and he'll rub off on me.
Yeah, getting all the gifts.
Yeah.
Mr. Christmas.
Yeah.
Christmas is soon. You feel good about it?
I feel so good about it. I love it. You know I do.
Yeah,
Like,
it's the best time of year.
It's the best time of year.
It's the most wonderful
Putting
time of year.
decorations up in November is the way I go.
Yeah, 1,000,000%.
I'm glad you are aligned with that.
I know.
This sounds like pillow talk. I'm not gonna lie. Like they're talking like a baby. Put the strawberries in the place I like it. They're like talking. They're too close or something. They're on a couch or under the covers. It's just a little too intimate for me. Let me go back just one quick sec. But yeah, should I be listening to this?
Christmas is soon. You feel good about it?
I feel so good about it. I love it. You know I do.
Yeah,
Like,
it's the best time of year.
It's the best time of year.
It's the most wonderful
Putting
time of year.
decorations up in November is the way I go.
Yeah, 1,000,000%.
I'm glad you are aligned with that.
I know.
That was a real tick in the box.
Can you imagine? What if I wasn't that into Christmas? I don't know how you could end up with someone who didn't love holidays as much as you do.
Yeah. I don't know.
Did you ever have?
Am I the only one who loves Christmas? Does anyone else love Christmas? Am I the only person who's ever loved Christmas before? Okay, sorry.
A partner who didn't love holidays as much as you do?
I feel like I haven't met many people that love the holidays as much as I do. There's a lot of people that love the holidays, but not as much. Yeah. Best friends.
I do. I was, because I am a podcast host, thinking about insightful questions to ask you today, because this is, as we said, the first and only time that the audience will ever get to hear from you.
Don't say never.
Well, it's just more that I don't think either one of us is very interested in our
Each
relationships. Yeah. Welcome to English banter, which is something I had to learn about.
Yeah, sorry, guys.
English people love to give each other crap, which I didn't know when we first started dating.
Which obviously went down really well.
Yeah, like a lead balloon. Because I was like, I don't understand why you and your friends are so mean to each other and why you're like mean to me. And you were like, what?
What?
I'm like, no, that's banter. Now I'm really. This situation is a red flag.
Okay. It's so funny. He's mean to me. I didn't know that abuse, I'm not saying he's abusive. I'm just making a joke here. Just for the record, this is a blanket statement. I didn't know abuse when you have an English accent doesn't count. And I'm so glad to know it. Again, not saying he's abusive at all, but it's just funny. He's like, oh, I didn't know being mean was exclusively European. I'm fine with it now. Okay. And again, like I said, at the end of this podcast, we're going to read the chapter on Cez that does not put him in the best light. And Rachel, you're not making him sound good right now. I'm sorry to say. It went down like a lead balloon. Where was that podcast? Because all it's been is like rainbows and butterflies that I've heard. Okay, anyways.
You are good at it. Yeah, I think the kids are really good at it too. Now.
Yeah, our kids are funny.
We have some good dinner table banter now.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I feel like if you're not sort of quick-witted, if you don't love.
It was interesting. Okay, I'm sorry I paused it a million times. She just said our kids. I find that odd just our kids. I mean, I guess they are their kids now, but it seems premature even. But okay, I'm not a parent, so who knows?
Laugh if you're not into like how fast can we go back? Yeah, you can't. You're not making it in this family. We have a lot of conversations with the kids about someday when you bring a partner home, you are not allowed to bring someone home if they're not cool and funny.
Yeah.
And by cool, I mean funny.
Yeah.
Like, do they get our sense of humor?
Yeah. If they don't, it's
going to be so boring.
It's never going to last.
We're the most, I mean, this is a sweeping generalization, but we're pretty fun family. Yeah. We have a lot of fun together. So
we laugh
can't,
a lot.
Yeah. We can't have anyone up in this mix who
can't laugh.
Yeah. Come on.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
Life's too short.
I am really interested to see who the kids. I know we're a ways away from this.
Oh, I know.
This situation
but I'm
is
really
a red
interested
flag.
to see who the kids bring home.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's additive. We can't have any duds.
They are going to be additive. No one's going to be a dud.
I guess we'll just jump into this because I think it's the most helpful conversation you and I can have for the audience, I think, is what it looks like to be a blended family. What it looks like to be a step parent.
I never heard that term, blended family.
Yeah. It means like, obviously, like.
What do you say in England? Oh, yeah, we call it Christmas. I never heard of that. Christmas shopping, you say? And what do you call blended family? Yeah, we call it a big old party. We call it a party with a blood party. Out in England. Okay, I'm sorry. I know that's probably not PC somewhere to be making fun of an accent, but it's fun. It's fun to do. I can't stop myself.
It's a mixed bag.
Yeah.
And I get a lot of questions into the podcast hotline about this, asking like how we did it and what that looked like, what your relationship with the kids was like. And I haven't really ever answered those questions because they're really your questions to answer. Yeah. So what did it feel like? Be totally honest.
Yeah, I will. You know
what did it feel like to come into a family with 4 kids? Or I guess let's flip it. What did it feel like to realize you were in love in a long-term way with someone who had 4 kids?
I'm going to be a bit crap at this because part of the success of the blending into the family, I think, has been that I haven't thought about it too much.
Yeah.
I've just gone with it. And for sure at the start of our relationship, we spent a lot of time together talking about literally everything and anything, and hours and hours and hours of it.
And it's worth saying for people who don't know that story that we started off as friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. They met on Raya, once again. Yeah, I was just here for friends because I was trying to get, a little booty. And then I found this friend that I end up liking. We talked. And we banter. I love it.
Neither one of us were going into the friendship looking for love.
For a relationship.
And it took a minute before
Took a minute and some shoehorning from you.
Yeah. And
wait, shoehorning from who? Go back.
Story that we started off as friends.
Yeah.
Neither one of us were going into the friendship looking for love.
For a relationship.
And it took a minute before
took a minute and some shoehorning from you.
Yeah. And some forcing. It took a minute. And also when I did realize I had a crush on you, I had accidentally already told you all my stuff. So you knew like skeletons in the closet, traumas, heart, because you were just my buddy.
Yeah.
And so all of a sudden there was no, I think
yeah,
normally.
we basically started our relationship being mates, drinking wine.
Yes.
At your house in the, looking out over hill country.
Yeah.
And watching sunsets and basically talking about, everything that had ever happened to us. Which is
that unusual? I'm sorry to say, but I don't know. What do other people do? What are other relationships like? They usually don't talk about stuff? Are you supposed to keep it all together and just bang all the time? yeah, that's how every relationship starts. Like, we have a very special relationship. We talked first. Like, I would hope so. I don't know. Sounds pretty standard, but okay. Go, Wolf.
Great basis for a relationship.
Yeah, because then there's nothing to hide behind. I mean, you're not, there's no pretending. You knew the warts and all.
Yeah, and also knew that I really liked hanging out with you for lots and lots of hours, talking or not talking, and just staring at sunsets or staring at birds, which obviously is a big pastime of mine.
Cez loves a bird.
I love birds.
What's your app that you have on your phone?
Oh, it's Audubon.
No, not that one where you can like hold it up and a bird's tweeting.
Chirpomatic.
The Chirpomatic.
Yeah, that's
Chirpomatic app. Just in case you were wondering how cool Cez is.
I have the UK and the US version. FYI.
You have more than one app on your phone dedicated to bird
sounds. Yeah, I do, and I am not afraid to open it up. Yeah.
She's obsessed with being cool. I think Rachel has an idea still as an adult woman, which is interesting, that like there's this cool group of people who do cool things and don't have interests, and that are like, I don't know, somehow existing to just watch football and like be cheerleaders or something. Like, I don't know. In the book too that I was reading earlier, she talks about like, I'm such a nerd, of course, but like everything is like, anything she shows interest in, it's nerdy, or he's nerdy, or he's not cool. She promises he's cool. It's just like, having interest is just part of life and is a sign of healthy human development. It's not cool.
And birds, but that also, we're jumping all over the place. But for people who are single or maybe newly dating, looking for love, that is actually a thought that I haven't heard a lot of people say. That one of the signs, God, I'm so good at this. I do it professionally, and I don't know why I'm having a hard time doing a podcast with you. But one of the signs that we were so compatible is how much we could spend in silence. That we could just be together and like be on a long walk or be on a hike or be looking out over a vista, but we didn't have to talk, which is
it's very important for me because I'm, as you know, introverted. I am an introvert. I gain my energy by being alone or quiet, or in a scenario or a place that's quiet. So
I don't think that's wrong necessarily. I struggle with it. I can't shut the frick up, So yeah, if that's an indication of someone you're compatible with, I'm screwed because I'll fill a room. Have you heard about this YouTube video? Have you seen this TikTok? It's really funny. Let me explain it to you. Rainy Cannon. Thank you so much, Rainy Cannon. Rainy Cannon says, I missed you more than Boo would miss Rach if she left Kia. Please come back for good. Please. Let me think it over. Rainy Cannon.
No.
I'm just kidding. I'll be back, and
they're going to be dropping some really powerful, amazing, life-changing shiz.
And I'll be covering it.
Your crack.
And finally,
God was like, you're done.
That's what God told me. Stop streaming. You're done. And then I said, no God of mine would tell me to stop streaming. I'm supporting Alphaba. Or what is it? That's from Wicked. What's the name of the devil horn symbol? I'm supporting Baphomet.
You're not Mel Robbins. You'll never be Mel Robbins.
Thank you, Rainy Cannon. All right, back to it.
Being able to share that with the person I love is like gold.
It's crucial.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think going back to your question of how it felt knowing that you had 4 kids, it wasn't ever a like, holy shit, this is serious, or this is, I don't know. It was never negative, if you know what I mean. There was never any like connotation in my brain that was sort of screaming, watch out, like look out. This is crazy.
I wonder though, if you had kids before you met our kids.
I just had pop star kids. That was it.
Which is a lot.
Which is a lot.
You managed a lot of kids that were pop stars.
I had a lot of tour kids.
Another our kids. All right, just saying. Our kids. Interesting choice of words. Very purposeful. It's interesting.
Yeah.
But no real kids.
But because you hadn't ever had kids before, you really didn't understand how hard it was going to be.
No.
So that's also a thing, is you didn't know what you didn't know. So you didn't know to be like, holy shit, because...
Well, I'm very much a person as well that is just intrigued and fascinated and excited by unknown things and unknown experiences. So there was no fear involved. Maybe because naively I didn't know what I was letting myself in for, but mostly because I was just excited in the moment that was happening.
Yeah. So you didn't know what you didn't know.
I didn't know what I didn't know. And yeah, I've always been a very much like a person that enjoys what's happening in the moment. I don't think too much about the future or the past.
Yeah. You're so present, baby.
Pretty in the moment, in the present. And so...
Do you remember when you first met the boys?
Yeah. At Odd Dog. Yeah. 100%. They played a trick on me that they intimately knew all of the Harry Potter movies.
Because Cez loves Harry Potter.
I love Harry Potter.
The kids have never... They have now. You've gotten the little kids into it.
But they basically Googled Harry Potter on the way to dinner.
And then tried to pretend like they were, super into it so that they could have conversation.
So that was my first basic lesson in how dinners would go moving forward.
That's real.
Yeah. I mean, actually, they, to be fair to them, brought the banter to the first
they
dinner we
did.
had.
And honestly, everyone at that table, all 5 of us, were so nervous.
Yeah.
We were all so nervous.
So nervous.
And I think a good thing is that we all said that out loud. We were all like, I feel nervous. Like everyone admitted it. So it took a little bit of the pressure out of the situation that we knew we were all nervous. Yeah. Do you remember at the end of the night when Ford got confused? Like
we went and got ice cream.
Yeah, we went to get ice cream and we were saying goodbye and Ford went to hug you and then felt so embarrassed that he went to hug you. And
it was so sweet. It was so sweet.
Oh God, and then he was like mortified. Like when you...
Poor Ford, man. He's been through a lot. Ford is such a smart kid. And I hate that I even know that because I saw him on camera doing all this Ford for Thought stuff with Dave. But Ford was a very sensitive and is, I'm sure, still sensitive, smart kid. And God, all those kids have been through so much. I hope that honestly, I hope that Cez is a great guy and great with the kids and sticks around and commits because that's what they need, I think. I mean, I'm not their parent. But if I was there, if I could put myself in their position, that's what I think I would need. Excuse me. Is some stability. So I hope that's what they're getting. I hope he's a good guy. But again, I do hear some red flags. Rebecca Romana, thank you so much. Rebecca Romana says Beelzebub. Yeah, I think that's what I meant. Baphomet, Beelzebub, What's that one? Nostradamus, the movie that's just coming out? I don't know anything.
There's Colleen.
That's all I know. And I also know this.
This is just stupid.
Because it's in my brain.
It's bad because it's stupid and you're normal.
Okay. Thank you, Rebecca. All right.
Call your teacher mom or something. It was
and you were like,
no,
you can hug him, it's okay. And he was like, I don't know what to do.
Oh my God, we've come a long way since then.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that first, I think, all props to your kids. They were very charming and open.
Well, he says your kids. So she says our kids, he says your kids. Interesting.
And joyful and, also slightly on guard.
Yeah.
They acted exactly how I would expect kids to act meeting their mum's boyfriend.
Yeah.
A little bit weirded out by the situation, but still very charming, very polite, lovely kids.
Yeah.
Which they are.
It's cool too to see how your relationship has grown with each of them individually.
That's been one of the most interesting and sometimes exhausting things about our relationship is that again, just going into it completely in the present, I had no idea I was building relationships with 4 people, not,
Yeah. Not like a hive mind.
Yeah,
like you weren't coming
exactly.
into one unit, you were coming in to 5 individual, me plus the kids.
Yeah, exactly.
And they all had different attitudes about me finding someone new.
Yeah.
And they all moved at different paces.
Yeah, and they've all got such individual personalities. They're all their own humans.
Duh.
Even Noah, when I met her when she...
Whoa. Kids have souls? What?
just turned 4, really. Which I guess she was like 4.5. She's a fully developed personality.
She wasn't 4. She was already, I think they're talking about Noah. She must have been already 6. She wasn't that young when they met, because I remember Pancake Gate, she was turning 5, I believe. So that doesn't make sense. That's not true.
Oh my gosh.
I don't think.
So
That
different.
is so different to all of the other kids. And Ford is different, and Sawyer's different, and Jackson's different. They're all such different personalities. And obviously you're a different personality to all of them. So yeah, that was a really big sort of like, wow. Starting a relationship with 5 people, basically.
Mind blown.
This show is sponsored by BetterHelp.
Oh, God.
Think affordable their life of items on the to-do list. 1,000 Thrive Mark THR
Okay, we're back.
Market.com/rach. ThriveMarket.com/RACH.
Kids is
I
people.
think from
True.
the outside watching you, one of the reasons you've had real success
Outside
as a
of your
step
house.
parent is that you did not come into the situation with a preconceived notion of what being their step parent meant.
Yeah.
A lot of questions I've heard on the podcast will be around the idea of like, I want this relationship with them and it's not happening, or I want it to be this, or it should be that.
Yeah.
And you just were so graceful for them. And
called being nonchalant. He don't care. He doesn't even know they got personalities. Okay, I'm not saying again that he would do this or he has done this or anything, but how he's talking about like, I'm just so in the present. I don't even think about the future. I just live in the present. That is like the perfect excuse of like, I cheated. Well, I was just living in the present. I was just, this beautiful woman was there and I just lived in the present. You understand? That's my personality. It's like the perfect built-in excuse. I'm not saying that's why he will do or what has ever done, but just kind of already could set up the perfect, get out of jail free card. Like, baby, you know, I just live in the present. And she was there and she had boobs. She had breasts. How could I not take advantage? I'm involved. She had a personality. I had no idea what I was in for. Albanese. Hello, Albanese. Albanese says, thank you, by the way. Albanese says, the pick-me vibes continue to go off the charts in his presence. Her baby Victorian voice. Yeah, she's got the sexy baby voice going on today. Like, we're very close and we're going to share some hot chocolate later. And we're just going to talk about our children. Our children? He's like, yes, I'll talk about your children all day. They Googled Harry Potter once, and I found out that they could speak. I thought your children were all house elves like Dobby, and that they could not speak and had personalities unless I gave them socks. Did I tell you I love Harry Potter? I thought the world was Harry Potter. I went to Hogwarts. Okay, I'm sorry. Excusez-moi. All right, Rebecca Romana, thank you so much. Rebecca Romana says, realized my stream feed was behind. Sorry. Also, you're thinking of Nosostro. Haha, famous side character from hit American sitcom SpongeBob. Okay, I did know that. Nostradamus, Nosostro. Yeah, ever seen him in the same room, as they say? Could be the same guy. Who knows? I guess we'll have to wait and find out.
No one's come to save us.
Especially Nosofro. I can't pronounce it to save my life.
You're not freaking fine.
I'm not freaking fine.
Lord Voldemort.
Lord Voldemort.
It's a portal, the way the Harry Potter books are a portal.
Harry Potter books were a portal into this dinner convo banter. Okay. All right. Moving on.
For yourself to let it be whatever it was. And it was different with each kid. They bonded with you at such different rates.
Yeah.
Than,
definitely.
Like, they didn't all bond at the same time.
Wait, did I read it wrong?
But I just think, I don't know, it was sort of an instinctive thing, or maybe it was like from working in the music industry and working with a bunch of different personality types. But you were so great at, like, you didn't have rules about how it was supposed to go, which just took a lot of pressure, I think, off the situation.
Yeah, I think maybe, thank you. But I think also maybe having been a parent, I didn't know how to parent or have a preconceived idea of how to parent. I obviously learned a lot from you and watching you parent. I think that just letting the relationships grow and letting the emotions grow and all of the good stuff is, I think I'm quite good at like giving space to things. So each one of the kids had a different, like you said, a different speed of attachment or, you know, development or whatever you want to call it. I didn't assign one metric to all four. You know, it was like,
okay.
Also,
wait and see,
also each kid, I think anyone who's a parent or works with kids knows this, each kid also has a different way of expressing their attachment.
Mm-hmm.
I even, at parenting these children, recognize that Jackson is a different...
No longer our or yours. It's now these children. We've gone full distance.
kind of connection than Sawyer is different than Ford is different than Noah.
Yeah.
And I just can't stress that enough to anyone listening, that you didn't, I don't know, I just think it was really helpful that you didn't have ideas about how they were supposed to act with you.
We get it.
Where I've seen that a lot. A lot of people have like, I want respect, and I'm, you know, like, ugh.
Yeah.
Like that was never a thing. And because it had space and freedom, and really, especially with the teenagers, I would say this was so crucial. You really came into it as like a friend.
Yeah, I was about to say, my biggest goal, I guess, was to just be friends.
Yeah. And not in a like, I'll go buy you beer.
Yeah.
Like a very responsible.
And also not in
friend.
a, you know, I'm your buddy,
Yeah.
you know, like more just growing a friendship with them, like finding out about them, understanding them.
Shared hobbies.
But
things,
also understanding them and their guards and, you know, their fears about our relationship. And, you know, Sawyer was definitely like one of it took him the longest to sort of come around to our relationship. He was probably the one that was sort of weirded out by it the most.
Yeah, I think that Sawyer would have
Makes
been weirded
sense.
out by me dating anyone ever. He's the most sort of like classically like mama's boy that, God, he'd die if he heard me say that. He is the maid of honor at our wedding.
Yeah.
I mean, that he keeps saying it's man of honor. And I'm like, just let me have a bridesmaid, bro. But he is the one
Interesting.
who's most protective of me,
Yeah,
and
for
therefore
sure.
would have been protective of anyone.
Yeah.
I actually can't believe how close you and Sawyer are.
Yeah.
If I'm being honest, I thought that it would be like years in the future, like on his wedding day, he would finally be like, I love you, man.
Yeah.
Like, and slap you on the back.
I will never forget the first time Sawyer said I love you to me.
Yeah. Wasn't it? It was like casual. He was like walking and we were like, what
We were like,
just
what?
happened?
What did he say? What did he say?
Yeah, it was really, really special. But if you had...
It's kind of surprising to me. I don't know if I was in the situation, I would be mature enough to be like, I love you to, you know, I guess to me it would be like a stranger. But good for them. That means that things are going well, I guess. That's good. That's a good green flag, I would imagine, right? I hope.
On super strong with Sawyer about like, I'm one of your parents now, and this is what he would have lost him.
Yeah, 100%.
He would have never. And it's so cool to see the relationship that you guys have.
Yeah, I love it. I feel very blessed.
A big thing too, because I just keep trying to think of what did we do that I think worked really well. I'm sure we have some what did we do that failed horribly, but what did we do that worked really well was, because there are 4 of them, there's a pretty clear line, at least in our minds, the bigs and the littles. And so we really curate experiences with the bigs and us, and then the littles and us, and then all 6 of us. Probably if we were looking at a map of our life and we could see the inflection points from like the universe's point of view that really made a big difference, the first ski trip we took with just the teenagers is probably a massively important inflection point in our lives.
Yeah, that's right.
Which was like 2022. Yeah, it was 2022.
I think so.
So we had been dating for a year, and I had just learned to ski with you over New Year's. Thank you. And we really wanted to take the kids. I loved it so much. I was like, we've got to get them involved.
And if you don't know, Rachel Hollis previously hated skiing, would go skiing, I think with Dave, but would just like stay inside because she's not that kind of girl. But then she changed her personality to be that kind of girl. So, hey, it happens, I guess.
So we did a ski trip with just me and you, Jackson and Sawyer. That's like a core memory for me, that trip.
Yeah.
I have such a special place in my heart.
Well, and the boys as well. They talk about it all the time. Like, when are we going to do that again? And
the
we
fearsome foursome.
Sure. Yeah,
like,
exactly.
It was just so nice because
Noah
I guess in retrospect, the teenagers hadn't gotten a lot of time sort of with just me
Ford.
or just me and you. They hadn't done that. They hadn't done a more adult experience. And that was, we stayed at a nicer hotel. They came to dinners. We weren't having like kid food.
Yeah,
I mean, Sawyer still found a way to have kid food. But somehow was like, can you guys make me nuggets? But it really gave them a chance to be with us in a different way. It was so special. I honestly think that's the first time they were like, okay, I like this guy. Yeah. That was a big deal, that trip.
Yeah, it was a big deal. And I think also introducing something new, skiing, into their lives.
Yeah.
They attached it to me, and it was such a fun thing to do. And it was hard, and it was beautiful, and we went to cool places. It just, I think that really did, you're right, cement our relationship for sure.
Well, it helps that you have brought a lot of cool things into our family. Music and concerts and ski trips.
Yeah.
Because
I thought she was like the biggest music nerd forever. She's always loved music forever. She's got a record player because she's the biggest music nerd. He brought in music? What?
Also brought a lot of, you care about a lot of things that we maybe didn't care about, but you really care about them. And so we sort of have to care about them, like organic food and supplements and health and nature and hiking. And like hiking's a great example. You love to hike. You could literally walk off into nature and we wouldn't see you for 3 weeks. And you'd come back so happy. And so we started doing hikes with all the kids, which is Sawyer's greatest nightmare.
Literal nightmare.
But because you also have brought so many good things, there's such a level of trust.
Yeah,
of
they're
like,
willing to give it a go.
Yes,
yeah, basically,
totally.
Yeah, until they hate it.
Totally.
Yeah.
He still hates hiking, but he will do it with us.
He will he'll go on a hike if there's water.
Rachel hates hiking too. Let's establish that as well. Rachel hates hiking as well. She did the Camino very much to, I think, please him, but to get to Ibiza so she could go to the hotel and chill. So she knows how to play the game with, I can pretend to be perfectly aligned. We're so aligned with my evolved boyfriend, now husband. But gets to get her way, I think, is the way I'm reading this situation. Because I don't think she loves hiking either, or skiing, or any of the shit that he likes. She's just pretending to.
Like if he can wade across water.
Yes, if there's a river or a stream, that's what
exactly.
that's what gets him into the mix.
Yeah, 100%.
So I've told this story more than once, told it on the podcast tour a couple years ago about how we fell in love over a series of questions.
Mm-hmm.
The new book's all about questions.
Yeah.
Like we love a question that we both answer. So I'd love to ask you some questions.
Okay.
Here we
Take
go.
a deep breath. Still nervous.
So you are about to get married. I'm interviewing you as if I'm not the person. You, when I first met you, the idea of getting married, it wasn't even, when I met you, you were like, I don't believe in marriage.
As I said, I didn't think about the future or the past.
That's true.
So the idea of marriage was like, well, I just don't really think about it.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't, that would be in the future. So
no.
Okay, bro. I am Buddha. I only deal with the present. So you're like not paying your bills, you know? Come on. Give me a break. No one's that enlightened that you don't even think about the future or the past. Yeah, I don't buy it. This is a persona he's putting on right now, I believe. Deeply embedded persona. I don't think that's human nature to not think about anything but the present moment.
It was more than that.
Yeah, I guess.
You were like, I don't understand why. And to be fair, if there weren't 4 kids, we would Goldie Hawn, Kurt Russell this situation
I would
forever.
So,
yeah.
Totally.
It was really important that we have that in place.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of...
It became more obvious as our relationships grew that the kids would find it stabilizing.
Yeah, because they would tell us, like, especially the boys really didn't like saying to their friends, like, that's my mom's boyfriend.
Yeah.
Because you are so much more than that. And
I don't get that. I don't know. Like in 2025, every person has a boyfriend these days. I don't think it's weird. If this was 1955, okay. But I don't know. Maybe the teens are going in reverse. They're getting more conservative, but I've not found that to be a problem that I've ever heard a teenager say like, oh my God, my mom's boyfriend. It's so bizarre. I wish she had a husband. It would be so much better for me. It makes sense like legally or whatever as a family to make it official so that everyone knows. But like for that being the reason, like, oh, I can't tell my friend who's 16 that my mom has a boyfriend seems like a weird excuse or reason I've never heard before personally.
Made them feel weird.
Yeah.
And they started to talk about it. So
it made us feel weird too.
Yeah.
Like me being your boyfriend is weird to me.
Right. Because we're in our 40s.
So, well, yeah, but there's like just so much more depth to. And that's not to like take away from somebody's boyfriend or girlfriend or whatever, but it's just, it doesn't seem to encompass exactly what our family unit is.
Yeah.
It's like, there is no pull down menu section on a school application form that is mum's boyfriend.
Yeah. Good point.
It's just people need a bit more,
I guess,
clarity on what a relationship is.
Yeah.
Which is funny, putting a label on it, but yeah, it works better for people's minds.
Okay.
Yeah.
How do you feel about it?
So romantic.
Great question.
There's got to be some.
How do I feel about getting married? Well, I felt a little funny along the way, but we would talk about it along the way. So I don't feel funny anymore at all.
Great.
I'm glad that we waited how we did. I'm very excited for you to be my husband.
Yeah.
I sometimes feel a little weird about being a wife again.
I get that.
Because it just meant I have some weird connotations around what is expected of that.
Yeah.
And that is not you at all, because that's so not your ideology. But
exactly what
if I feel weirdness at all, it would be around that word.
Yeah.
I love being like your emergency contact. I love being like, I love that, it's just really that word.
Yeah.
And probably what it means has meant.
Yeah.
Where I grew up and
it's such a big difference between me and you is the way we think about things and what we were just saying about.
The thing between me and you is how we think. Okay.
Me fitting into the family and into parenthood is I have the same mindset with being married, being a husband, having a wife.
Yeah, DW. I also agree. That was we waited so long. It's like, you guys, I mean, yeah, 4 years or whatever, but 4 years on top of she was just married publicly. The guy, ends up dying tragically. They have 4 kids. Like, there's a lot of stuff going on. They moved, whatever. The fact that they got married within that 4-year period is shocking to everyone. So the fact that she's like, oh, we waited so long. It's like, how much faster would you have done it? I totally agree with you.
I have no preconceived idea of what it is or what it should be. I'm just stoked that I get to carry on hanging out with you.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, I'm really excited about wearing a wedding ring.
Yeah, me too.
Because I love rings.
Yeah, you
for a
should wear a
start.
ring.
But then just to have one that's just how you look down and be like, oh, there's my 5 people all wrapped up in that ring.
What was the moment you
That's
knew
sweet.
you wanted to spend the rest of your life with me?
Oh my God. Honestly, there was no real one moment. There's moments in time that play like photographs through my mind. And one of them is an actual photograph, but if I explain it to you, you'll be like, oh yeah, there's a photograph of us holding 2 coffee mugs on the beach in Hawaii and the sunrise is coming up. And I was like, that sums up a lot of how I could spend the rest of my life with you, because it just
Because you're rich and you have a homestead in Hawaii. And I was like, cha-ching, baby. I used to think he was rich, like he had a bunch of money, but now I don't know. Now I think maybe she's got the money. She's got the money. She's got the Hawaii connections, maybe. I don't know.
there's coffee involved.
So much coffee.
But we love doing the same things. We're up early, we're living life, we're drinking coffee, we're watching sunrises, we're putting our bare feet in the sand before we go and work on something, before we raise kids, before, like, there's just a way of doing things in life that you and I are really aligned on.
Really aligned. I think that's the beauty of coming to a relationship later in life.
Yeah.
Is like we both know who we are. We both know what we want.
Yeah.
And so when it's like you recognize your soul's counterpoint in another person, you're like, oh my God, it's
well, definitely
you.
one of the things that's wrapped up in that photo as well. And, you know, being on a beach and sunrise and there's a real sense of adventure that we both have in business, in relationships, in travel, all of the things, you know, in
excuse me,
sports we want to do, hikes, challenges. There's so many things that we're like, yeah, let's do that.
Yeah.
And I think
to be fair, she did all that. Well, she didn't do hiking and all that, but like her and Dave did the Mount Everest challenge that her and Cez did. She ran marathons back then too. So, I mean, and Dave was the first one to run marathons and Rachel came. So like to say like, oh yeah, my old husband didn't like the same things. That's not quite true from what they displayed, at least.
in points in our relationship that have just been like, yes, 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 you know.
Yeah. Trying to think of.
Sorry.
I remember really specifically knowing I was in love with you, which I write about in the new book.
Yeah.
I haven't gotten there yet.
I'm trying to think of the moment that I was like, oh, this is it. It's Cez or bust. Like it is. It's like,
did you get that t-shirt made?
Yes, that's
Great.
actually my wedding dress.
Oh, it's sick.
Yeah.
In Diamante diamonds.
You got it.
Yeah, beautiful.
Yeah, if it's not you, it's not anybody.
Yeah.
And how lucky I am that it's you.
Aww.
But yeah, I don't know if I remember a specific moment where I was like, this is forever.
Didn't you just say you wrote about it in your book? Go read the chapter over.
It just was like all of a sudden I just was aware.
Yeah. Same. Yeah, there was no, lightning strike, as it were.
What is something I do that makes you feel the most loved?
Something you do that makes me feel the most loved.
Coffee.
Oh my God, there's a lot of things, but you're so caring. You always are like holding my gaze and caring for me in so many ways. Like,
you feel like that?
Yes.
Because I think you are the most caring person ever.
No,
Well, we
you
just shared a
are.
very-
No, you are the most caring. No, you are the most caring.
Like, yeah, that's true.
You are very the word that came to mind then was challenging, but I mean it in the best way.
Yeah, I know you do.
You'll challenge me.
Dave said the same thing. I remember him saying something very similar, that she's a very challenging person to be with, but in the best way. She challenges me. She was going to leave me at the bottom of the hill, on the Everest challenge. So I had to get up and hike. So I guess that maintained or remained, which, okay, good. You didn't change your entire personality, but the word that I describe my soon to be wife, challenging. Really?
To express my emotions, to do the best thing for myself, to challenge myself, to, find a path that I didn't realize was there. You challenge me in all of the right ways, which is your way of caring for me.
Yeah.
But you also make me tea and so many other things.
Yeah, I mean, I talk about that whenever I talk about you on the show. I talk about how you are the most caring person I've ever met. And honestly, that has become so central to our family's dynamic that you are so caring of everybody, that you are making 1,000 dinners and
caring.
Doing all the things, scheduling all the things. Like, you really jumped in with both feet, arms wide open. Like, you just, we call it CCD, which is a name Noah gave you, Cez Darke. Kareth is,
Darke.
Kareth
There's
is
a great song
actual
that goes
name.
with that, by the way.
She made up a rap called Cez Darke. And so when Cez is in his planning mode, getting all the things done for our family, just the king of it. It's like, CCD's on the loose. CCD needs to know what time we want to leave.
Comes with a bit of an eye roll from Rach, everybody.
It does. But you get it done.
I get it done.
I hate details.
I do.
I'm a big picture kind of girl.
I know.
That's why we work
I know it.
really well together.
We're a great combo.
What is one thing about our relationship you think surprises people?
Oh, God.
The fact that we are together.
Yeah.
On paper, nothing about us matches up.
Agreed.
No friends of ours would ever be like, who would be great together?
Yeah.
Cez and Rachel.
I think there's something that's obvious in that, in the sense of like, of course this works, because I am very grounded and calm and quiet and thoughtful and inner.
Mm-hmm.
And you are very...
A bitch who won't shut the fuck. I'm just kidding. I am the earth and the dirt and the roots, and you are a nagging... I'm just kidding.
Outgoing, vivacious, energetic, love to talk, future focused,
lots of feelings,
love to speak feelings and emotions into the room. So much of our relationship is you speaking emotions and feelings into the room and me being silent for 5 minutes.
Yes.
And one thing that you have got real good at is allowing that space of like, okay, this is fine. This is fine. I feel inner turmoil at this silence, but I know he's going to respond eventually. He just needs time. And my poor little brain is trying to keep up with Rach just talking.
It's a lot of talking.
There's a lot of talking involved. But
relatable to me. Hashtag relatable.
I want to be relatable.
I think that anyone that meets us will be like, oh, this, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, in fact, anyone that does meet us is always like, oh, yeah, this makes total sense.
Yeah, our personalities make total sense. But if just on paper you are like, guy in his 40s, like, 20 years on the road.
Probably the only reason that dating app put us together is because we were the
Same
only
city.
two people in Austin
Literally
that wanted
same
friends.
city. That was why. You're so right.
Yeah.
What excites you most about our future?
Oh my God, so many things. There is so
things.
much to look forward to. All the journeys we're going to take, all of the projects we're going to do.
Kids are going to get older.
The kids are going to get older. Jackson's going to college.
Oh God, I can't.
I mean, I'm excited to go visit him at college. I'm excited for Sawyer and his college application process and what he's going to do next. I'm excited for all the kids. Like, it seems like Ford and Noah are sort of their next big steps are further away, but it's going to be here in a second.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah. And then I'm like, once they're all in college, once they've flown the nest, I'm excited for us to just bounce around the world, visiting our kids and drinking champagne.
Yes, honestly, here.
Now he said our kids. So now he's in the family again, psychologically.
What am I excited about?
Same. What's one thing I do that always makes you laugh?
One thing that
Fart.
always makes me laugh. I'm trying to think of like
We do
one
laugh
thing.
really
We
hard.
laugh all the time.
Oh my God.
Like,
I don't think they've ever laughed. Given how much they're shoving that down our throats, how funny and how many times they laugh a day, I don't think they ever laugh. We laugh so much. Tell them how much we laugh. Yeah, we are laughing so hard constantly. I haven't heard a joke yet. I haven't heard one gosh darn joke yet. Bring the jokes. It's time for jokes.
often at just inappropriate things, but also I can't think of one thing that you do consistently that makes me laugh. You just make me laugh.
You know,
a lot,
when
all
we
the time.
start laughing to the point that we're like doubled over, can't catch breath. Just thinking about that can make me laugh
100%.
in the moment.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I wish I had.
You know what makes me laugh the most? What about you makes me laugh the most is when I think about you laughing. Okay.
The example of it. You're right. It's usually inappropriate and probably.
Yeah, it was like the last time we really laughed very hard was when we decided to call each other Plumpy.
We were watching Love Actually, and in that scene where
the Prime Minister knocks on
their door.
I can't remember her name.
His girl in Love Actually,
Yeah.
if you know, you know. And she's coming down the stairs, Natalie.
Yeah.
Where the fuck is my fucking coat?
Where the fuck is my fucking coat?
Yeah. Her dad is like, you all right, Plumpy? And we were just dying, having seen that movie 10 million times, but never really tracking with the fact that he calls her Plumpy in front.
I don't get it. I'm missing the joke. It must be a enlightened thing.
Prime Minister. And then what if that was the nickname that someone gave you, like in public called you Plumpy? And then we said, henceforth, we're going to call each other Plumpy in public. And we laugh. It's so stupid. Repeating it now, it's not funny. But
It's not
we
funny at all,
laughed.
but
And Plumpic.
Moment.
Oh my God.
least
And
they're
then the
admitting
first
it's not
time
funny.
you called me Plumpy, oh my God. Which sounds so awful. We were with someone who was like, what?
Yeah.
And we're like, don't worry about it. I think we were with Jack.
Yeah, I think
We're
so.
like, it's from Love Actually. It's like a thing. Don't worry. Oh God.
And then Jack is obviously like, I've never seen Love Actually. And we're
We're
like, what
what's
the
wrong
hell?
with
What's
you?
going on?
What's wrong with you?
So there's no specific thing.
Yeah.
You just make me laugh a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same.
Yeah.
We're going on a date tonight. Are you
Yeah,
excited?
I am
I'm
excited. Soon, right?
God, are they going to do mandated date nights? Has that remained in this marriage as well? Mandated Thursday night date night? Let's hope for the relationship. Oof.
Yeah.
The sun's going down anyway. So
Well, it's 3:30. So it feels a little early, but like, sure, let's go.
it's the holiday season.
Oh gosh. That voice of yours, that sing voice, that you get like a really deep.
It's terrible. Yeah, I know.
It's not terrible because it makes you happy. It's just not your voice.
You're right.
It is a very specific voice you do when you want to sing a song,
All right. Yeah.
but it's not your voice. It's not like you sing in your voice and then you sing in this like old-timey singer voice. I've never pointed it out, but I think it every time.
I'll take it. I'll keep it. It's staying with me.
Bored.
What's one thing you've learned about parenting since coming into this role?
One thing? Are you kidding?
I've learned that they have personalities and they all require maintenance and they all do different things because they people. They is people. Whoever said that in the chat, that was very funny.
Oh my God. I've learned a billion things, but what is one thing I've learned about parenting? Probably the biggest thing is that there is no way to parent. Parenting is a minefield of just different scenarios that happen on different days at different times with different kids with different emotions.
It's like whack-a-mole.
Yeah. When people say, oh, you're that kind of parent or this kind of parent, what they're actually just saying is like, oh, that's your personality. I think people don't parent in a way that is separate to themselves.
That's
You
real.
know what I mean?
Yeah, totally.
And I think there's a lot of people out there that get confused as to how you're supposed to parent and read, other people parenting and skills that they have that just seem so alien because that's not your personality.
Yeah.
And I think that the only way you can really parent.
Just wait until you read Rachel's book on life. Her whole concept is you read someone else talking about their life and you will benefit by just absorbing it. He doesn't know the whole business that he's about to be in.
Is just to remain honest and open and patient.
Yeah. I also think, speaking of like books on parenting, people are talking about how to parent the kind of kid that they had.
Yeah.
And I think I heard someone say this years ago. I think it might have been Jen Hatmaker, but she was saying there's two kinds of
former friend alert,
families, sweet families and spicy families. She's like, we ain't never been a sweet family. And I'm like, that 100%. Because we've seen that before. Like, you see these kids who are like, brother, do you want to play with this puzzle with me? I know those kinds of kids exist. I don't have one of them.
Yeah.
Not one of my kids came into this world being like a little angel cherub baby. So when people are like, I just get down at their level and like talk to them about feelings and then everything's perfect and they get into Yale. I'm like, well,
who's ever said that ever in the history of the world? Show me one person who's ever made that claim.
I didn't have that kid. I had all the spicy kids.
Well, you can also, the spicy kids can be sweet kids on some days, but not all the kids are sweet or spicy on one day.
Amen.
So you can.
Wow. People, including children who are people that he's now found out, have different feelings on different days. Mind explosion.
Walk from the kitchen after having a lovely conversation with Jackson and you'll bump into Sawyer who's having a freak out about something to do with sports.
Yep.
Then Ford will follow through with some absolutely kind of out there art project that he wants to do.
He tie-dyed the comforter in his room without asking anyone permission.
And he's
stained the
bought
sofa.
a chainsaw.
Yes.
And then Noah is just Noah.
Who even knows?
What's she doing? And all that happens in the space of 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And the key to parenting is to approach each individual person within each individual moment.
And now we're back to the main point of this. We get it. You don't have to repeat this again, please God.
Which is exhausting.
Which is exhausting,
Yes.
but necessary.
Yes.
And that's it. That's why parenting is so tied in with alcohol.
He said, in case you didn't hear that, that's why parenting is so tied in to alcohol.
This situation is a red flag.
I know it's a joke. I know it's wine mama clock. I know it's fine, whatever. But it is a little still of a touchy subject given the circumstances of Dave's passing, which included alcohol and cocaine. Whatever. They get to deal with it however they want. But it's a little bit like, maybe be a little sensitive. I would be, at least in front of the kids, I'd be a little bit more sensitive about saying that. oh, I need a drink to deal with you. Don't love that personally.
We're saying in a very relatively short amount of time, 4 years that we've been together, a lot has happened. A lot has happened. Yeah. And we experienced a lot happening from Jump Street. Mm-hmm. Like from the second we got together, there was just a lot going on with the family.
Yeah.
I talk about this in the new book, but like we went through a lot, and we went through a lot very soon into our relationship.
Yeah.
True.
And for someone who wasn't even expecting to be in a relationship, to be inside of one that has been really intense. Mm-hmm. Like we keep saying, like, dear universe, thanks. We're good. Yeah. We have learned the lessons. We have grown. We have evolved. We could use some time off.
Yeah, just some chill time.
Just what do you think about that? The fact that in 4 years, it has been so much intensity.
I think that
Agreed.
Life is just intense. I honestly, I said to you this morning, looking at that picture by our coffee machine, when we were in Switzerland, was 2 years ago. On January 1st, 2025, it would be 2 years ago. And how much has happened in our lives in those 2 years.
God.
But also my best friends, our best friends now, had a baby in that time who is now 18 months old.
Yeah, our best friends, who is, well, one of them is a woman. His best friend is a woman, which I thought was interesting. And he was at the birth of the baby being born, which I also thought was interesting. But now I guess that's her best friend too, so now it's okay. It's all copacetic now.
And how much their life has changed. And there's, each end of the spectrum, there's like dramatic changes and shifts, and energy is crazy. And then but when you look back at it in context with other people's lives, it's all just life. It is hard, but it's also so joyful. It's so full of energy and excitement and sorrow and joy. And I think if I was looking back on our relationship and wasn't sort of like holding my head being like, holy shit, what would I be doing? I'd be looking back being like, well, that was easy. That's pretty boring.
Look at these abs.
Yeah. But
you
know what I mean?
It's 7% body fat because all I do is work out and eat salmon.
Yeah, exactly. That would be, surfing every day or something. But what I'm trying to say is that
I don't get it.
You can't have a full life without full experience. And I think that we have a full life and we have full experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love you.
I love you too, baby.
I love you too, baby. I love you, baby. Oh. Ooh, we've reached the end. Yes, we did it. Children are people. Children are people. We will learn the lesson when we have 4 children. The bar is low, I will say, for dudes who don't think of the future or the past. All they have to do is learn that children have different personalities, and on different days, they have different moods. And they're like, oh, baby, you're so wise. And do you know life's full of ups and downs sometimes? Cue the music. This is an inspirational moment. Yikes. Okay. Well, what do you guys think? It was just boring. I changed my mind. I don't think they could have a relationship podcast because it would be there's no fighting yet. They haven't gotten to the fighting stage. Public fights is what I'm signed up for in relationship podcasts. So they got a little bit more to work towards. But, one day we could see it. So this gives me a little hope that this book will improve and get a little juicier because, like I said, I'm 80 pages in, which is about a third of the book done, and it is boring as hell. It's a lot more about you, which I guess makes sense with the title You, less about her, which, you know, is sort of, she took the notes of, I think, what people were saying and was like, stop using yourself as the pedestal. So she did take that advice and start to, you know, say, what do you want to do in your life? But I guess maybe towards the end, she starts talking about, you know, her loves, how she fell in love with her boo thing. But I wanted to read the one chapter I did get to that involves Cez. And again, a story that we've heard, at least I believe on this channel, at least once, where Rachel has a panic attack at a Paul McCartney concert. Now, I don't need to read the whole thing. I'll give you the recap. So it starts off, she was 39 the first time she had a panic attack. Okay, she's at the Paul McCartney concert with Cez, and all of a sudden she's listening to the music, and then the next second she's splayed on the ground like a doll. Okay, so if you've ever had a panic attack, I've never experienced it in this way that she describes, but this is what she claims. She was on the floor because our brains don't work super well inside a panic attack. Okay, that's what she said. She was so hot, she was burning alive, and she went to go lay on the floor to get cold because that's what her caveman brain screamed at her. Her only goal at the moment was to bring her body temperature down, okay? She's normally skeeved out by germs, but in this case, she was mushing her face into the floor of the concert hall, the arena. So she's on the floor, and then she's looking from the floor directly at a long line of people waiting in line for the bar of the arena. And then more than a few people started staring at her, okay? And most people assumed she was drunk, but she would never do that, okay? So don't even get it twisted, guys. She would never do that. She's from Minnesota. She would never do that, okay? Okay, I lost it. And this is a direct quote. But guys, I wasn't drunk. I was dying. Drama. The drama. Okay, and then this is another direct quote. And even dying, I was worried that someone in that line might recognize me. Is that Rachel Hollis? I guess the Lord giveth and the Lord taketh away. Okay, now here comes Cez. At some point, I became aware that my sweet boyfriend was beside me. Was he with me the whole time? Did he get worried and come out to find me lying here like a roadkill? Guys, I have no idea. He kept asking me questions, but I no longer understood English. I'm a caveman, remember? He was Charlie Brown's teacher. Wah, 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 wah. I had zero idea what he was asking me. Then everything in my entire body sped up and sort of shut down all at once. I got hotter. My skin was burning me alive. I actually didn't know it was possible to be that hot without frying your brain like those anti-drug commercials from the 80s. I'd sweat through all my clothes at that point and kept thinking, legitimately considering taking my shirt off in public. Obviously, I didn't because of all those concession stand people staring at me. Even in the midst of a panic attack, an upbringing steeped in modesty still held sway. So Jesus kept her shirt on. Okay, then my caveman thoughts sort of separated from my real thoughts. That separate part of me marveled at the spectacle I was making. Why am I doing this? You're okay, my boyfriend said. You're having a panic attack. Huh? The detached part of me wondered, why on earth would this happen now? My first ever panic attack at almost 40 in the middle of a Paul McCartney concert? It feels so disrespectful to someone knighted by the Queen. But given my body's reaction, either I was having a panic attack or I'd been poisoned. Okay. I mean, it's always possible. Okay. Something in me bristled at my weakness. Here comes out the real Rachel Hollis. Something in me bristled at my weakness. I'm stronger than this. That detached voice was now screaming. To prove it, I tried to sit up, but the world tilted on its axis. The margarita machine everyone was waiting in line for became triplets. I immediately collapsed back down, violently jostling my tenuous equilibrium, which made me feel dizzy. That was a complicated sentence. And then suddenly I was desperate. Okay. Warning, grossness ahead. Okay. Grossness forthcoming. Okay. I was about to have violent diarrhea in my pants in front of the concession stand full of people. To be fair, I think it's safe to say that, okay, this is, I highlighted this part. Okay, this is the gold moment of this chapter. To be fair, I think it's safe to say that most people would not want to crap themselves in the hall of a concert arena. But you guys, I am one of the biggest prudes you've ever met. I don't even like other people to hear the sound of me peeing. Give me a break. She talks about shitting herself, bleeding, peeing, everything constantly. Don't give me this. I'm such a private, shy, conscientious person about my body. You wrote you wrote a whole Wall Street Journal editorial about how we shouldn't be grossed out and we should share all of our disgusting, bodily bathroom habits for womanhood or whatever. Okay, but she's the most prude. Has anyone ever been embarrassed about pooping their pants before? Am I?
Me. Am I the only hippie? Are you Rachel?
All right. So I'll summarize a little bit here. So she gets up. She's desperate to find a bathroom. She can't imagine she's going to make it without pooping her pants. Okay. Now here's a direct quote. Let's also add into the mix, the beautiful man who brought me to that concert was at that point still a fairly new relationship. Like it was so new, I was still regularly shaving my legs all the way to the top, not just to the knee, guys. She says guys like every other sentence in this book. It was bad enough that he had to watch me have a meltdown, but if I did actually lose control of my bowels in front of him, that would be the end of me. Okay, so she gets superhuman strength, just like the kind where a mother, is able to lift a car off of a toddler. She gains that strength to make it to the bathroom before, disaster strikes. And she says, I didn't even try the ladies' room either. I went into the family restroom where it was blessedly private and fluids shot out of every hole in my body like they were escaping from a monster. Gross. But thank you for sharing. That's what I'm telling you. Okay. And then she says, I was embarrassed to tell you I still didn't have any shoes on, which means I was barefoot in a public restroom. The moment I stopped expelling everything from my body, my brain very urgently suggested that I lie down again, this time on the bathroom floor. And this does not sound like a panic attack I've ever heard of. Like, this sounds like a drug-induced reaction, but she's calling it a panic attack still. So the voice in her head is telling her to lay on the bathroom floor of the arena. Okay, but then she decides no. She forced herself to get out of the bathroom before she passed out in a field of E. coli. She made it back to her original position in the hallway on the floor beside her shoes. Okay, now here comes the boyfriend. My boyfriend tried to keep me from lying down again, but gravity won. Okay, here it goes. Here it comes, red flag Cez. Now, I think Rachel's being crazy, but she also probably needed to be looked at by a doctor because this behavior sounds insane. So if it was me and I didn't think she was lying or something, then I would think, hospital, now, let's go. Like, this is not right. My girlfriend is having a breakdown here. Okay, here it goes. I'm so hot, I mumbled. My lips were stuck to my teeth. Your temperature is totally normal, he assured me matter-of-factly. I feel like I'm dying. You're not dying. No matter what I said that night, he would calmly but sternly assure me that I was fine. He was adamant to the point of being rude. Caveman brain couldn't understand it. It has the emotional stability. Caveman brain couldn't understand it. It has the emotional stability of a shelter puppy. Okay. Everything my boyfriend said started to sound mean. Oh, wait, can't hear myself again. Hello, testing. Oh, I need new headphones. I need to get a GoFundMe for new headphones. Okay. Everything my boyfriend said started to sound mean. I felt like I was talking to a stranger. This new guy was completely unlike the man I fell in love with. Okay, she said this relationship was pretty new, but she's already fallen in love. Okay. The man I fell in love with is deeply compassionate and very gentle. This one was, for the first time in our relationship, purposely antagonistic. He kept squeezing my hand really hard in between my index finger and my thumb, and it hurt. Okay, so again, very similar to how she wrote about Dave in her first book and how he was a major asshole when they first met. I am getting the same story here thus far. Through my fog of panic, I started to get a little annoyed. You're having a panic attack, he said again. A 20-plus year veteran of the music industry, he spent decades tour managing for rock icons and pop stars and everything in between. He assured me that panic attacks happen to people at concerts all the time. The lights, the sound, the heat, the crowd, it's really common. My heart is pounding so hard. He felt my pulse. It's not pounding. The rhythm is exactly right. Honestly, Rachel, you're being a bit dramatic.
This situation is a red flag.
My thoughts started to form in... Okay, why would she include... What? Everyone give a guess. Okay, give a guess as to how this situation that's been described thus far is going to be turned into a positive to make Cez seem like a good guy. Okay, or that this situation is something to be learned from in a positive way. Okay, leave your guesses. My thoughts started to form in full sentences again. Now I was getting truly pissed. There I was, dying, and he was acting like it was all a big dramatic, in quotes, inconvenience for him. I thought of the celebrity he was currently working with, Shawn Mendes. She doesn't say that, but that's who it is, I believe. A childish part of me crossed her arms and stamped a foot. I bet if he were right here dying, you'd be a lot nicer to him. Meaning Shawn Mendes. Okay. This story is going so well. Makes him look so good. I just don't understand. Okay, whatever. I don't understand this. Like, why in one podcast... Oh, I love you. He's the best. He's the best. He's the best. And then in the book, say like the worst story you could find about a person. I don't know. It's a very bizarre like practice she has going here in her life. It's a pattern for sure. Okay, quote, I can call the EMTs over for you, but they'll want to take you in. At that moment, a security guard walked by. Hey, brother, how many songs are left before the end? My soon-to-be ex-boyfriend asked in that maddeningly calm tone. 2 more, man. Does she need a stretcher? Judas looked back at me. 2 more songs, Rachel. Should they put you on a stretcher? He asked. Meaning, in exactly 2 songs, 15,000 people would exit the arena and walk by me there on the floor. Oh, hell no. Whatever willpower kept me from ruining my pants would definitely give me the energy to save what was left of my reputation. I hauled myself to my feet, annoyed enough at this jerkwad to want to huff off, but not steady enough on my feet to walk unaided. He held one of my arms and both of my shoes, and we shuffled out very slowly into the Dallas night. When we got back to our hotel room, I collapsed across the bed, unable to move. I was woken a little while later to the sensation of the aforementioned jerkwad washing my feet. Poor darling, he murmured in his beautiful English accent as he methodically cleaned my feet like some biblical character. You're nice again. My voice sounded small and weak. Why were you so mean earlier? Okay, here it comes. Here's the lesson, guys. Here's the lesson. Love, I'm sorry, but nothing else was working. You'd lost all your color and your anxiety was getting worse and worse. I tried talking to you, helping you, cajoling. The only thing I hadn't tried was making you angry. You needed something to break your pattern. In that moment, you didn't need someone to coddle you. You needed someone to challenge you so that you'd snap out of the spiral. Oh, wow, what a wise sage. Oh, those men, they know everything. They know what women need. They need to be, treated with anger. I fell asleep that night deeply bruised, both physically and emotionally.
This situation is a red flag.
I've spent most of my life feeling like I've always got to be the strong one in every relationship. Yikes. I have endless experiences of being asked to take on other people's responsibilities, clean up other people's messes, and try to save those who refuse to save themselves. It was deeply triggering for me to experience a crisis and not find the support I expected from my partner. Okay. All right. Maybe we're getting somewhere here. And then we did something to fix it. Hold up. But, there's always a but. But also, I'm not the same person who once stayed in those past unhealthy familial, personal, or romantic relationships. I have grown up since then. I've worked hard to learn to say what I'm feeling, even if I know it'll lead to conflict. So the next morning, when I had a clearer head, I brought it up again. And now I didn't try to fit my feelings into special packaging. I just said what I was thinking. I didn't feel supported by you last night when I really needed you. He sat with my words for a moment. His slow consideration is a hallmark of his thoughtful personality and a big reason he's so successful in his field. I don't think anybody can create a more calming presence and give you clear wisdom the way he can. It's like being in love with Yoda, only this one is way hotter. Harder. He's way hotter. He's hot like Yoda. Excuse me. Okay. All right. I hear... Okay, this is his response, right? Okay, again, his response that is supposed to prove to us that he is the best man ever. Ready? I hear that you didn't feel supported, and I'm sorry. I'd never want you to feel that way. But darling, would you consider that you were supported very deeply, just in a way you needed at the moment? Okay, sorry. Let me read it the way that he said it correctly to give you the nuance of what we're saying here. Let me start over. I hear that you did not feel supported, and I'm sorry. I never want you to feel that way. Okay, just end it there, buddy. Nope. Let me get the but. But darling, would you consider that you were supported very deeply, just in a way you needed at the moment, not in the way you wanted? Sometimes what you need doesn't come in the form you want it to.
This situation is a red flag.
Well, damn, he was right. What the fuck are you talking about? So if a guy smacks you in the face, or a girl smacks you in the face, a woman, and says, you say, I did not like that you smacked me in the face. And they say, well, it's not what you wanted, but it's what you needed at the moment. We're supposed to go, oh, damn, you're right. This is bad. I did not like this at all. I did not think that this was interesting. I did not think that this was helpful. I think this is just Rachel's way of calling out once again for help because she's unable to have agency in her own life and, you know, be alone for a little bit and not be deeply manipulated by people, I guess. I don't know. Because that just to me sounded so deeply manipulating. Okay, she goes on. He was right. The first clear thoughts I remember, well, besides that whole exorcism in the bathroom, were of being annoyed with him. Okay, how about what happened to trust your instincts? What happened to trust your gut? What happened to there is no such thing as, you know, a universal mistake? The first feeling I had was being annoyed. Yeah, trust your intuition. Except when it comes to my man. Then doubt yourself at all costs. Okay, that's the lesson here. The more I spiraled, obsessing about my heart pounding, the harder it pounded. The more I thought about how hot it was, the hotter I became. I have no idea if I lay on the floor for 10 minutes or 2 hours, but I do know I was getting worse, not better. I really only started to come back to rational thinking in order to argue with him. I was only able to walk out of the arena under my own steam because I was annoyed. Seek help. I got the support for him that I needed, the kind that would actually help me. Instead of being cossetted, I don't know what that word is, cossetted the way I would have preferred. There are times in life when you need care. Okay. There are times in life when you need care and love and back rubs and kisses. You long for someone to see you and the hardship you've walked through. You wish they would pamper and maybe even baby you a little, but you're too afraid to ask or don't think you deserve it. Okay, yeah. And why is that wrong? That sounds like the right way to handle it, personally, in that moment. If you were truly thinking you had a panic attack and were out of control, I think all of those things would probably be the right things in that moment, personally. But okay, she goes on. Then there are other times in life where even though it's the kind of support you want, it's not actually what you need to snap you out of the fog you've been living in. Sometimes you need someone to apply a little pressure to a point of tension, like when he squeezed that spot next to my thumb so hard it hurt. That's fucked. I'm sorry. I know I'm cursing now at the end of this, but he hurt me physically, pushed my hand so hard it hurt, and that's exactly what I needed. That's wrong. That is the wrong message. It's the wrong message for her. It's the wrong situation, and it's wrong that this isn't a book purporting to help you figure out how to live the best life. Again, yes, it's a small thing. Oh, he touched her hand and it hurt. But like, what is the lesson there? The lesson is if someone hurts you physically, you may need that physical hurt because sometimes you need someone to apply a little pressure to a point of tension. That is an actual line in this book that I find problematic at the very least. I'll continue. Sometimes you need someone to challenge your thoughts because they're no longer serving you. I can't get up off this floor. Yes, you can and you will. My heart isn't strong enough. Your heart is strong. The rhythm is exactly right. This is the end of me. Okay, here, I didn't even see this line before. Silly rabbit, you're just getting started. We're back to fucking silly rabbits again? We're back to country bunnies? We learned nothing? Have we learned nothing, Rachel? Silly rabbit, you're just getting started. So what if, just for perspective, you ask yourself what you need in this season of life? Well, asking yourself what you need is pointless. You should just let your boyfriend hurt you and tell you what you need. That's actually what I heard in this chapter. Unfortunately, Don't ask yourself the questions. What if your boyfriend is the answer? Should have been the title of this book. What if your boyfriend hurting you in the hand was the answer? A New York Times best-selling book. Okay. Not what you want, but what you actually need, both from other people and also from yourself. The answer might just surprise you. The answer might not soothe your current moment. In fact, there's a good chance what you actually need might not be soothing at all, but it could be healing. It could be helping. It could be exactly what you need to break the pattern you're trapped inside of. And that, my friends, is why we do not support self-help here on this channel, because what the fuck was that? Like, apparently there's more love stories in this book, but this is the first time Cez is brought up really in any depth other than my sweet boyfriend. There was a line or two in the beginning of that. That is a horrendous story, a horrendous message, and I feel like Rachel has still not healed. I mean, obviously, we know that already, but it's sad. It's sad to witness. It's sad to see again. It's sad to see her on the talk show circuit talking about this garbage. And, you know, I hope it doesn't get into the wrong hands to a person that's reading it at the wrong time and is, you know, contemplating getting out of an abusive relationship, reads this crap, and then goes, you know what? No, I need to stay because he knows better or she knows better. It's ridiculous. It's unfortunate. So that's just a little sneak peek at what is to come in Rachel Hollis's newest self-help book. Once again, what if your boyfriend hurting you is the answer, by Rachel Hollis. We will read and we will dive deeper into all the other chapters. And this is the first time that I've ever seen this quote down here. Usually this is from like other people who've like, this book changed my life. This is just another quote by Rachel Hollis herself, which says, the single greatest thing I can do with this work is not try to teach you what I think is true, but potentially to ask you questions that help you discover your own truth. And this book, just is interesting, was published by a new publisher than she previously had. And again, this book was dedicated to Cez. And that's the biggest chapter, or the first chapter that I've come across to him. Bizarre. She was a part of Authors Equity. This is published by Authors Equity. Previously, I think she was with HarperCollins, I believe. So there you go, everybody. Yeah, the cover design. If you want to blame someone for how boring and not great the font is for some reason, I can't explain why I don't like it. I think it's the font. It's like generic Helvetica or something that just doesn't quite work for me either. You can blame the jacket design was Chris Sergio, so you know that's who to blame for that. And the jacket photograph was Melanie Dunay. So they are the ones who are responsible. And I'll just read, this will be my last thing and we'll end it for the night. This is Rachel's book jacket description. Rachel Hollis is a #1 New York Times bestselling author whose work has impacted millions of readers worldwide. Through her books, speaking engagements, and the Rachel Hollis podcast, she explores life's unspoken truths and engages in real conversations, particularly about obstacles faced by women today. Yeah, other women giving advice like this crap is an obstacle we still face today. A mother of 4, an entrepreneur for over 2 decades, Rachel's candid storytelling and relatable humor. Oh, you can't hear it. Sorry. Relatable humor.
I want to be relatable.
There you go. Make her a beacon for those seeking fresh perspectives on life's challenges and triumphs. Amen, sister. Girl, what if you don't have all the answers? Well, it don't matter. Write 20 books and profit, because that's the capitalism that we live in America. America. Self-help. America. Bad advice. put it in a book and sell it. That's the American dream. Yeah. Turn your toxic relationship into a podcast, then put it in a book. Yeah. Okay, this is my last song of the night. Put it in a book. Put it in a book. What's it? What's it? All your trauma. Take your trauma. Put it in a book. Give advice. I can't even look. It is so bad. It makes me cry. I don't think Rachel is very shy because she talks about pooping and peeing every day. I still don't want to be seeing. She don't care because Cez is there hurting her hand because she needs it, doesn't want it. Sometimes you just have to flaunt it. Paul McCartney, who's that guy? All I want is to cry. Shut up, stupid bitch. That's your boyfriend talking. That was Cez's last final words. Well, I hope we had fun. I said I was going to go for 2 hours. Went for 2.5. That's not bad. Only a little bit over. Okay, the plan is next Thursday. So what's the date? I don't know. Let's see. Let's see real quick what the dates are for next Thursday. Next Thursday is the 16th. That's the plan. I don't know what the topic will be, but we're gonna meet again, and we're gonna just take the bullet, and just suffer through it. I'm just kidding. We'll figure out a topic. Let me know. Comment below what topic you'd like to talk about next week, and I'll see you then. And hopefully by then, my voice will have returned and I can sing more properly. But until then, oh, you're not hearing it. Gosh darn it, I'll fix that by next week. Promise.
You are privileged AF.
Douche lord.
And finally, oh wait, I haven't heard this one in a while.
I do number 2.
So funny.
Make sure you have a lot of bubble bath.
Actually, do make sure you have a lot of bubble bath. I'm still taking near daily bubble baths, but I didn't take one today for the stream, so I'm dirty. I'm so dirty. Okay, everyone, have a great night. See you later. Toodles. Thank you for the fine welcome back. I appreciate it. Goodbye.